Blyth test route, 4th of June 2025. Subscribe, it's free, or become a member. Yeah, original audio not recorded for data protection reasons, but obviously my voiceover. Always drive out of the bay at the start of the driving test. Why not? It's easier than trying to reverse out. Always start reversed into a bay driving away. We're going to watch this along together. I've not watched it as such. My name's Ryan. I'm a driving instructor, unless I've already said that because I've got Alzheimer's. No, I'm only just kidding. We're going to follow the road, and literally it's going to be just, around town. I haven't actually seen this. I'm watching it along with you. I hope you've got your tasty beverage. Now, I had a tasty beverage, but I dropped it coming out the shop, and I couldn't be bothered to go back. So there we go. The person who'd done this driving test won't mind me saying that they passed with 3 minors. So if you think it's a fail, it probably isn't. Probably needs a little bit of description. A little stop on the left here, angled start, moving off with the car in front of you. So the person that set off was the last one out of this test centre. And for some reason, I don't know why, but the clock's showing the wrong time slightly. I've no idea why. I sync it and everything, so it works. I don't know what's up. I don't know why. I don't know. Anyway, we're following the road ahead. Now, I did think that she was doing sat-nav, but don't quote me on that because I'm not 100% sure. If you're wondering why she's down and slow, because obviously the speed's correct, like 10 miles an hour, it's because effectively that car has kind of blocked the road. She can't go any further. So she's reducing the risk by driving along. No minor there. Yeah, absolutely fine. Nothing wrong with it. Turning right, across the crossing, following the road. This is Plessey Road. Following the road all the way out, all the way down to the roundabout, no doubt. Lots of meet and greet, lots of understanding. If you are unsure about anything on any of these driving test videos, then ask me in the comments. Or, even better, go to your instructor and ask, because your instructor will know the answer. Do we understand? What we've done, we stopped on the left-hand side here. There's probably a lot of traffic, probably going to move off, possibly even setting the sat-nav up. I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on because I haven't got the audio recorded, because I'm not allowed to, because it's against data protection. And there's nothing wrong with the van, what he's done there. He's also moving off from the side of the road, and he's going to turn left. And he wasn't really making a stop, slow down, or swerve. He was just making his presence felt. There's nothing wrong with that. We've moved off, probably because he set sat-nav, something like that. Driving down the road, lots of meet and greet. So, following the road. Following the road ahead, really. And all we're doing is making our way through. There's nothing too heavy about all of that. It's just us following. Just making sure we're nice and safe. There's nothing wrong with the speed because stuff there can't be done for going so when there's a ton of hazards. For example, when there's cars in the middle of the road, or there's parked cars, or there's bends, or there's something happening. Passive and active hazards. If you're unsure, speak to your instructor what an active or a passive hazard. Theoretically, you should have done it for your theory test, and the videos on theory test about hazards should be telling you a story of why things happen. Just being cautious. Following the road. Super safe. A little bit close to this car, but being aware of it. So yeah, I've got sweeties instead. So I got it's got my name on this actually. All sweets like this have got my name on it because it says chunky. Yes, oh, I'm not really chunky, but it's a good little joke, isn't it? So we're just following this road. It's not really all exciting for some reason. It looks like on my laptop, which it isn't. The lines are yellow, but they're not. It's because I've got a colour filter on for some reason, and I don't know how to take it off. But by the time you watch this with my rattly packet, then You won't see it. It'll all be back to normal. All the reversing camera stuff will be on and all the graphics will be on, but I haven't added them yet because I'm trying to record this in a car park near, actually right in the middle of Morpeth. I've got my disc up, don't worry. I probably wouldn't have stopped there, but never mind. I might stop further up. But it depends on the examiner. It is a driving test at the end of the day. We've done like 3 stops already, haven't we? We only do 4 stops because, well, there's a waste of time. So perhaps the examiner is trying to get the number of stops out of the way early so that we can just get on with the drive, maybe. It might be that another manoeuvre was the drive into the bay down at the beach because the candidate, Freya, told me. But the thing is sometimes they try and get all of the stuff out of the way first, so the examiner can just sit and talk about stuff. If the examiner's talking to you, then he's not he's watching you more avidly because he's making sure it's nice and safe for you as a driver. So that's a decent stop, nothing wrong with that. Camera angle makes it look like we're on the curb, but we're not. Definitely not. You can see the car ahead, but we're definitely not on that. Fairly flat in Blyth, so no hill starts. Driving away. So the examiner sits back and talks to you and talks about different things. He's still watching you. He's still going to fail you if you've done something wrong. But if he feels relaxed, if he feels confident in your car and your driving skill and ability, you'll pass. Following all of your routines, not breaking the law, and being actively aware of hazards. That's all we're doing. Going to go all the way down Plessey Road at the roundabout up here and towards the level crossing. I've now got chocolate all over my hands. I'm well done here. It's a good job I've got some wipes in this car. Always carry a packet of wipes in your car because you never know when you need them. There we go, top tips. So we're just following the road. As we come into this roundabout, be super, super careful from cars from the right-hand side because you can't see them because it's a closed junction. Really difficult to see. So you're coming into it, you're slowing down, you're braking in. You've already gone through that check of mirrors and all the rest of it, and you're going to go in. As you're going into the next section, then there's another hazard, another hazard, another hazard. This next hazard, level crossing. Sit behind the box if you think your exit is not clear. Reassess, then move. Nothing wrong with what she's done there because that big van might have been turning right or it might have been going straight on, but it might have got stuck as well. Can't block or sit in a box junction. Following the road ahead, actually the examiner in some cases on that junction will duel you if you are going to commit an error, just in case the barriers come down. So just to make you aware, and that is a course of fail if you get duelled or if the examiner gives you a direct instruction such as stop or whatever else it is. We're just following the road all the way through Newsham, all the way out the other side. Probably going to do Seaton, Deleval, so probably got a country road, stuff like that. It feels tight down here, and it is, and there's nothing wrong with doing what she's doing. She's just being cautious. 20 miles an hour, nothing wrong. Going into a hazard mini roundabout, you wouldn't want to do 30 in it anyway. She's just having a little assessment. Yep, giving way to the right hand side. See that? You see, it's nice and simple, isn't it? Then moving off and driving away. On the next hazard. So looking across. A little wiggle around the roundabout. Moving up. Lots of steering going on there. Again, if you're unsure, consult your driving instructor and go and practice it. There's no point sitting and watching this sometimes. Go and practice it. It's a good idea to get an idea of the route and pick up some tips off me. But sometimes actual practical going on the road and driving is the best solution. Over the bumps, 15 to 20 over the bumps, all the way down. Of course, if you're manual, probably second gear. Following the road. Roadworks. They deleted the roundabout just here, if you remember it. And we're just sitting between the barrier and the cones and the white line in the middle of the road. We're going to come up to the new roundabout. The old roundabout was just on our left-hand side there. And we are going to turn right at the roundabout. There's no other way to go. Well, you could go left back into town, but it's doubtful. Not for a test anyway. You may come back that way, but you're not to know until you test it. Theoretically, you can go on any road within 5 miles, 6 miles of the driving test centre, because it's 15 minutes out, 15 minutes back. Remember, we're still in Roadworks, so it's still 30. It's not anything else. It's still 30. Don't try and do like 40 or 50 or whatever else it is. So, yeah, just do 30. Just following the road. And then you get to the signs that say 50. We're just moving up and moving up and moving. When they eventually finish this, eventually, then I think the whole of this road's probably from this roundabout ahead, probably going to be about 50, then 40 and 40 through. I can't see it being 50 all the way through anymore. And we're just following the road. Down the roundabout, left hand side, other routes, staying in your lane on the left hand side. Don't try and do something stupid, because all you'll do is get caught out. So just staying in the left hand side. On the right hand side, of course, there's a bus lane. It's actually a big housing estate. I've got a pupil in there, and she decides to do some lessons. Ultimately, though, just staying in your lane and it's being careful. Now I'm going to got some. I wear glasses. You've probably seen my videos, so I'm going to clean my glasses while I watch this because I can. Because all my other glasses wipes have decided to leak. I don't know why. Maybe somebody can tell me. Following the road. So all you're doing is following the road all the way along and see where we go at the top, at the roundabout, really. Now then, there was an email released about the state of the DVSA. There was like loads of questions asked online. I could have done a video on it, and I was going to do a video for last Friday about what's going on at the DVSA. Probably already know that basically there's a 24-week wait for all brand new tests. Yes, you can change your test at the moment. Anybody can change your test. Well, anybody who's got a test booked can change a driving test. I don't mean that, like, I don't know, Joe Blogs from number 53 can change your test. I mean, you can change your test. Also, if you've booked your driving test through your instructor, then he can change your test, or they can change your test rather, because they swap them, or they change them, or sometimes the driving tests get cancelled. We get a notification that they get cancelled through email, or they get moved, or they get swapped. There's all sorts of reasons, maybe examiner not available or something. That sometimes happens. Now then, on the booking service, we're going to turn left at this roundabout. On the booking service that we have as a driving instructor, what they're thinking or what they're considering doing is changing it all. Isn't that nice of them? Well, actually, there's 3 options, and there's a survey that you can complete online. And the DVSA want to change it where instructors can't book pupils' driving tests, which creates a massive problem. Because if you've got somebody who isn't quite ready and they're insisting they're ready, what might happen, because you've booked their driving test and you feel that they're not ready, then potentially you could end up going on that driving test, right? And you might not be ready. You go on that driving test, you make a mistake, you fail your driving test when you weren't possibly. You might have done 30 hours. You're probably not ready, not quite enough. Probably need a little bit more time on the road just to get familiar with things. Maybe do a couple of mocks, stuff like that. So if they take the power away from the driving instructors to be able to reschedule your test, because you should be test ready at least a month in advance, then potentially we're going to have problems with the service. So this is what the DVSA have come up with. DVSA have actually said that what we want to do is we want to take that power away from the instructors because of misuse of the system. There's 3 options on there. One was to take all of the power away, so the booking service would be, well, basically useless, and putting somebody's ID number in it becomes totally useless. That the booking service would be able to book a test but not change or swap. And I think change or swap is vital, by the way. I've changed a few and I've swapped a few for the benefit of my pupils, where somebody wasn't quite ready, somebody was ready, so we swapped them over. It was a benefit for both of them because both of them ended up passing, so why not? It was a good solution for both of those pupils. They probably both needed that swap, and also to keep it the way it is so that the the instructors can book a driving test. Sorry, I'm just cleaning my screen here because it's absolutely filthy. So there's a voting thing online. I want to keep it exactly the same way it is, obviously, because I book my pupils' driving tests. I like to do that because then I have the ability in the future, if I need to amend or change a driving test. So it's a benefit of both me and my pupil. Then there was a big interview with the chief executive. Yes, and he was saying, how is the 7-point plan going? And it's going very well. Yes, we put an additional 120,000 driving tests in. Oh, very good. That sounds wonderful. Sorry if there's a bit of crackling on the screen there. I've just been cleaning my phone screen. That's all very well and good. And they were saying about the stats, and they were saying that they're reducing the waiting times. And I've done some numbers. So let's say we're 2.5 million driving tests a year. Half of them pass. That's 1.25 million driving test passes per year. And we've still got a 24-week waiting time. What does you, as a person, think of that? Do you think that that's of a benefit, adding 120,000 tests, if there is 1.25 million fails? No, not really, is it? You can sort of see where I'm going with this, that actually we need to add 1 million tests, just following the road. This has been a bit boring, I know, I'm talking through it. We need to add about 1 million tests a year just to clear the backlog. And I've worked that out, including overtime and all the rest of it, and including holidays, and etc., etc. I've worked it out as about 1,200 examiners to clear the backlog. And that's to clear the backlog in 3 years. I've also worked out that we'll need 200 driving examiner trainers. It's not happening, is it? They're not going to clear this backlog. They said by December, well, we're already getting bookings for late November, where that backlog for now hasn't disappeared, and we're in early June. We're not going to see that backlog cleared unless there's a freak miracle or something. I think the only way to clear it is by essentially people passing driving tests, but changing a system that has worked for a really long time, that you book a driving test, you can change it if you need to. Changing that system, which they said they were going to put a new system in by June, but they haven't. Changing that system isn't going to help anybody, really. I think it's just going to make it worse, because you won't be able to swap. People are not ready. They'll insist they want a driving test. They'll go for that driving test in somebody else's car. They'll fail. They have to add another driving test. Pass rate comes down. I want to see people's views on that. I don't know what people think of that, but there we go. Yeah, I think it'd be a problem within itself, which is a bit of a shame, but life goes on, I guess. I'm not really all that bothered by the backlog, to be completely honest. It just inconveniences people, which is coming on to the next bit. So, if, as a driving instructor, we've got all these people who are going to do driving tests, and we can't get driving tests, we hang on to people. We get somebody who fails, we have to keep hold of them until they get another driving test and they eventually pass. The problem that we've got is the number of driving instructors is decreasing because they're getting frustrated with having to keep these pupils forever. We're normally used to keep people for about 6 months, and I might have mentioned this a few times, that you used to keep somebody for about 6 to 9 months. You used to pass, simple, done, that's it. Taught them that life skill, you move on to the next person. Somebody else phones you up, somebody else texts you, you add them to the diary, you add them to the calendar, done. You go on 6, 9 months with that person. That's what happens. If they can't get a driving test, you're hanging on to that person, which means that there's no slots available for new people to learn to drive, and it gets worse. So everybody ends up getting taught by mum and dad or friends, and effectively what happens is that nobody ends up passing, and is going to compound to where the pass rate, which is about 50%-ish across the board, across the country, is going to end up where it drops, and I'm fairly confident that drop will happen. I'm almost certain it's going to happen. I think it's going to be incredibly difficult for people, and all of their findings and all of these interviews and all the rest of it is all online. You can go and find it. It's on Intelligent Instructor if you can be bothered to look for it. I'm not going to read out facts and figures, I don't really need to. It's a bit like this boring driving test that all we've done is come out of Newsham all the way along, turn left at the roundabout, follow all the way through. There's not been much to it. We've not done any stops and start. It's literally been a drive. We've done all the stops and start earlier on in the driving test. We're just coming at the meatier stuff, the problematic areas in a moment. I've dropped my glasses again after I cleaned them. Yeah, so we're getting into the better areas in a moment. But I think what it is, I think ultimately I'm just frustrated with the whole system, and I think this is happening to instructor. I'm not going to give up being an instructor. I don't see the point in that. That's just pointless. I'm about to renew my badge, so I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to give it up. I just think that the system's really so much broken. They're trying to fix it and break it even more, and I don't know why they're trying to do that. They're trying to clear this backlog, this 7-point plan that they keep going on about, and it's not working. I don't know why, but like I said, 1,200 driving instructors, 200 driver training, I don't know. Tell us what you think. I've rattled on about that for 10 minutes. This isn't a particularly long driving test, 34 minutes or something. Where is it? Yeah, 34 minutes and 33 seconds. I'll put the picture of the pass E on the end. We're going to go straight on in the car park. This happens a lot. Be aware of it. Going straight on at this roundabout, second exit. I only know that because Freya told me where she went. So we're going straight on. So watching your position, watching that white car on the left, just in case he doesn't believe where you're going. Don't turn right, you're going in the car park. Kill all the speed like a stone here. 10 mile an hour around these corners. Freya's quite a confident driver, so she's just chucked it around that corner absolutely fine. Drive into a bay. Pick a bay, drive into a bay. Do not pass go, do not collect £200. Just drive into a bay. Don't try and squeeze between two cars. Just feel where you're going to go. And there's loads of bays. It's feeling it. And there's 3 on the right hand side there. If you can get more, great. Is she going to go in? She's probably looking at a position. Oh, there we go. Got to go on the left then. So fine. Nothing wrong with that, actually. Is it over? Ah, there we go. Nice and neat. Into the bay. You see, sometimes it's just about a bit of planning, thinking ahead, thinking about where you're going. There we go. Reversing back out. And he would have literally said, oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, reverse out towards you when we leave the car park. So there we go. And we'll drive away. That's as easy as it gets driving in. So nice and easy, taking your time. You're going to turn right back towards Blyth. We've got literally 10 minutes left. You've got to drive down the coast. You're not going to go anywhere else. You're not going to go left to Whitley Bay, and you're definitely not going to go back through Seaton, Deleval. Probably waiting for the traffic. Sometimes you got to wait. There's something on the right hand side, not going to fail you for hesitation. There's just something on your right hand side. You can't do anything if you can't. Not going to pull into traffic if there's something on the right. So she's having a look across to the right, identifying to see if it's safe, looking, assessing, deciding and acting. We can't see on the right because we haven't got the camera angles. Probably just a bit busy day. There we go. Moving up, going right on the roundabout. So there's no hesitation there at all because there's no need for it. It's just literally you waiting because you can't pull into traffic. Because if you cause anybody to slow down, swerve or stop, you'll fail your driving test. It's just waiting. There's nothing wrong with it. And all we're going to do is drive down this road. Remembering it's still 30. Drive down the road. Just taking your time sometimes. Through the crossing point here. We're on 27 on the dials, 28. It's fine, nothing wrong with that. And we're just following the road. All the way along, all the way down the coast. It hasn't been an exciting driving test, but it's been challenging enough to be complicated where she could have failed a dozen times, right? Crossing points, crossroads, junctions, roundabouts, give way to, priority over, a little bit of meet and greet, maybe speed in response to traffic signal. All of those elements, but Freya's confident enough to just drive the car. She believes in what she's doing. The anxiety's through the roof, of course it is. Everybody's a bit anxious now, but it's feeling and believing in what you are doing. And we're just following that road. As we came through the crossing point, absolutely fine just to drop off the gas and then go back on the gas and drive away. And as you're coming up to this dual carriageway, either you put your foot down and get up to 70, or you drop to the left and stay on the left hand side and probably get overtaken. I personally stay on the left hand side in your normal driving position and just let the car go. There we go, van went past. Just knew, even without the rear camera and everything, just absolutely knew there was somebody there. Because there's always somebody who wants to get past the lane. There'll always be one person who wants to do 101 miles an hour. Now, because we've only got like 5 minutes left, we're going to get told to turn right on this roundabout. So it's mirror signal across the lanes. There we go. Because mirror signal maneuver. Then starting a whole brand new routine. Somewhere around this sign where it says 30, so you drop your speed down to 30 there. Doesn't matter what's behind you, you do 30 there. Mirror signal maneuver. So again, looking, assessing, deciding and acting, going round the right. Routine. You're coming around. Left mirror, left signal, into the left-hand side, exit the roundabout. Standard, isn't it? Boring, yeah. But that's what you've got to do. And we just follow the course. It's not very. It's been a interesting, but also at the same time a boring route. I've ended up talking about the DVSA and the survey, and yeah, this test thing isn't getting any easier. Tests to get. You know how to drive, you'll pass a driving test, but ultimately, it's just you following a road, really. And we're just following the road. So, speed and position. What you're doing 20 hours into your driving lesson, speed and position, pretty much all the way through. You've done all your left and right turns, now you're doing traffic. On your driving lessons, you might get told to turn left or right, and if something goes wrong, you'll get pulled over. What are you going to do about that corner? You'll go through that coaching session. But ultimately, you're doing speed and position. This is literally what this whole of this test has been. If they missed out the car park, it might have been, well, let's drop through Ridley Park, let's go into the estate there, and let's park on the right reverse or a parallel, or what, might have done something a little bit different. Ultimately, it's just you following a road. This has been a relatively simple route. And we've gone through some busy stuff as well, actually. The time's out on the clock, but it's easy, or it's relatively easy, what we've done today. It's a 3 minor pass, and I can't even remember what the minors were, to be completely honest. I didn't get the email, the candidate did. Just following it back. 3 minutes left, probably going to turn left here. Little yellow pass and go car in front of us. And we're just going to follow the road. And right, so a little word on this one. The yellow car that's in front of us is effectively ploughing the road. What they're doing is they're defending you from somebody coming out of a junction, because they'll be seen first before you will. So we've got a little bit of a gap here. She's done the washing of the windows. I think that's why it looks a bit like there's a drop on the screen. And anybody who's waiting at those junctions, or anybody who's doing meet and greet coming towards us, they're kind of holding position because of the car that's in front of us. So we're keeping 2-3 seconds behind that car. There we go. And the yellow car is effectively ploughing the road. They're defending our road position. We're being in a dominant road position, and now we hold our own. So all you're doing is looking all the way down this street. Anybody coming towards us, if there is, kind of try and slow down and pull left. You're just going to follow it all the way back into the car park, and at that point, pretty much we are done, aren't we? And just following it. So yeah, driving test, 3 minors, simple, keeping it as simple as we possibly can. That's all it was. A lot of concentration. If you like what you saw, like, comment, subscribe, ask me a question if you need to. If you want to become a member. Sorry I haven't put any members videos on for a long time. It's the way it is. I've been incredibly busy and stuff. And yeah, that's it. Done. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye for now.